Israel's active involvement could change the situation dramatically. It could put Russia on the back foot. Already, the Russian forces are facing some problems. The commander of the Russian forces in Ukraine has spoken out. He says the situation in Kherson is difficult.
Overall, the situation regarding the special military operation can be described as tense. The enemy does not abandon attempts to attack Russian troops' positions. Primarily, this concerns the Kupiansk, Liman, and Mykolaiv, Kryvyi military sectors. The situation in this direction is difficult. The enemy is deliberately targeting infrastructure and residential buildings, targeting social, economic, production infrastructure.
That's a rare admission by the Russian forces. Kherson was among one of the first big cities to fall back in February, when Moscow had started the offensive. Last month, Russia annexed 4 Ukrainian territories. Kherson was a part of this. In recent weeks, Ukraine has intensified its counter-offensive. The Ukrainian forces are steadily retaking territory. Locals are now being evacuated from Kherson. There are signals that the fighting could intensify anytime.
Soon Ukrainian troops will begin their offensive on Kherson. We cannot exclude shells striking Kherson and part of the Kherson region on the right bank. For the last 2 weeks, we have been insisting on locals evacuating the right bank of the Kherson region. I ask you to interpret my words seriously as a call to evacuate quickly. We won't abandon the city. We shall stand until the end.
Russian proxy officials in the region say they are moving as many as 60,000 civilians. What for? Russia claims Ukrainian forces could shell Kherson. And what is the basis of this? Russia has not shared any specifics. Ukraine has dismissed these claims by the Russian side. They have called the decision to move the civilians a propaganda show. But Moscow is raising the stakes. The Russian President Vladimir Putin has made a move. He has declared a martial law in all 4 territories that he annexed in September: Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson, and Zaporizhia. What does that mean? Vladimir Putin said he is giving more powers to his officers in those regions.
In addition, in today's situation, I believe it is necessary to give additional powers to the heads of all Russian regions. A relevant decree has also been signed today. The top officials of the subjects of the Federation must pay attention to implementing measures designed to ensure the safety of people, the security and anti-terrorist protection of critical facilities, and the maintenance of public order.
Martial law effectively means a military takeover of civilian institutions. So Putin's move is likely to empower his troops on the ground. And going by some claims, sweeping security measures could be put in place now. And this includes restrictions on the movement of people and vehicle checks. Meanwhile, the relentless attacks on Ukraine's capital continue. Fresh explosions were heard in Kiev this morning. Reports say these were Ukrainian surface-to-air missiles shooting down Russian bombs. Residents were asked to move to their nearest bomb shelters. And talking about explosions, the investigation into the Nord Stream pipelines is intensifying. The Danish authorities have released their initial findings. They claim the pipelines were ruptured by powerful explosions. Denmark has not blamed any party yet for this, but their findings echo the conclusions of the Swedish investigators. A video has now been released. It shows a massive tear in the Nord Stream 1 pipeline. A robotics company was engaged to shoot the extent of the damage. They sent a drone to the site where the pipe was leaking, and they found at least 50 meters of underwater pipeline destroyed. All signs are pointing towards sabotage. There is suspicion of a Russian hand, but there is no evidence yet of a Russian involvement in these explosions. The Kremlin has already dismissed the Western probe into these leaks.
Still, we can only express our regret that all this international investigation process is taking place in a very closed mode, without access and with no communication with the Russian side, which is a co-owner of this pipeline system. And of course, we have no opportunity to carry out any work and to perform our own investigation.
If the events in Ukraine were not enough, the Nord Stream is quickly becoming the new front in the battle between Russia and the West. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.